Joining us now, Deputy National Campaign Coordinator for Labour, that's Ellie Reeves. Hi, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us on the programme. Let's start with a Kermit reference, should we? It's not easy being green, is it? Especially for the Labour Party. What's going on with this $28 billion a year?
Well, we've got our Green Prosperity Plan, and we've said that towards the end of the next Parliament, we'd ramp up our spending to $28 billion. And that's on things like GB Energy, a new clean, green, publicly owned energy company, which would bring down energy bills for families, give us energy security and create the green jobs of the future. So that's really important about investing in our economy, creating those jobs and being at the forefront of the green tech revolution.
Just to clarify, it is £28 billion a year that you will be investing towards the end of the next Parliament.
Yes, but we've always said that's subject to our fiscal rules because...
So it's not necessarily £28 billion a year?
We want it to be $28 billion.
I want free chocolate on Fridays, doesn't mean I'll get it.
But we don't know what we're going to inherit if we are lucky enough to form the next government. You know, the Conservatives crashed the economy. We've seen interest rates go up. We've seen families paying the cost of that. So when we first announced this, we were in a very different situation. It was before that mini-budget that everyone will remember crashed the economy. So we have to be realistic. And I don't think people would believe us if we said, you know, yes, we can just do this on day one. So it's really important that we say it's subject to our... But it's really important that we say it's subject to our fiscal rules. So, yes, it's what we want to do. It's our ambition for government. We've made our pledges on things like the National Wealth Fund, investing in the green tech of the future, growing the economy, because that's what's crucial here. This is about growing our economy, creating those green jobs, being at the forefront, being a leader in green tech on things like carbon capture and storage, on electric vehicle, battery, gigafactories, all of those sorts of things which will grow the economy. But it is subject to our fiscal rules.
OK, but even if you do then invest, because originally you said you were going to do it straight away, now you're saying towards the end of the next Parliament. Even if you do, Jack and Sam are saying the figures that you're showing are something like £16 billion. So where's the other £12 billion investment coming from?
But, you know, it's important that we say it's subject to our fiscal rules.
No, that's not what I'm asking you about. Where's the other? Where's the £28 billion? Give me the maths on the back of a fag.
Well, this is about investing. We've said that we won't borrow for day-to-day spending. That would be irresponsible. But this is about investing in growth, and in the future we've seen low growth in the country. Billion? Because we're talking about investing.
Tell me the figures.
We're talking about investing, and also, you know, this is going to include what the government's already spending in this area, and we actually, you know, we don't really know what they're spending because it chop and changes the whole time. So we need to know what we will inherit if we're lucky enough to form a government, what we will inherit. But it's also about bringing in private investors. So businesses want this to happen. So crowding in private investment into these.
OK, we'll have to wait for the figures, is what you're saying. Abdul Azidi, we all saw what happened. I mean,
horrific. Absolutely
still
horrific.
On the run as we speak. £20,000 reward for his arrest. He was granted asylum in the UK despite having been convicted of sexual offences, claiming that he was allowed to stay in the UK after converting to Christianity. Where does Labour stand on this?
It's really concerning. I think there are huge questions for the Home Secretary to answer as to why someone that was convicted of sexual offences, serious offences, was granted asylum in the first place, because there are mechanisms that should mean that shouldn't happen. Equally, there are questions as to why he wasn't deported because of those sexual offences. Again, there are provisions that should allow that to happen. So there are some real questions for the Home Secretary and to the Home Office to answer as to why this man was granted asylum in the first place and then able to stay in this country.
I'm reading this morning that several would-be asylum seekers on the Bibi Stockholm are looking to convert to Christianity. That appears to be, some might say, somewhat of a loophole for people to claim asylum in the UK. What would Labour do about that?
I think it's really important that there are robust procedures in place so that asylum claims are genuine and there aren't loopholes in the system. You know, we've got a broken asylum system at the moment. We're not seeing deportations, we're not seeing returns to safe countries, and you know the system is just broken. People have got to have confidence in it, and we need to make sure that we've got robust systems in place so people can't circumvent.
But converting to a Christian religion would not be sufficient.
Well, there may be genuine cases where people have converted, and it might mean that they would be risk returning to their home countries. But it's important that that there's a robust system to make sure that people aren't playing the system. And I think that's crucial for people to have confidence, the public to have confidence in our immigration system. And they don't at the moment because it is a broken and failed system.
Apprenticeships are down. What are you going to do about it?
Introduce a skills and growth levy for businesses. You know, businesses tell us that the current system is inflexible. It doesn't allow them to get the skills that they need for their workforce. So we would introduce this flexibility in the system, something that business has been calling for. Apprentices are down something like 120,000, but a lot of businesses, they're paying into the levy, but they're not getting anything back from it. And actually what they want to be able to do is train their existing workforce or new starters, have shorter courses sometimes rather than apprenticeships. We need to get the right skills for the future so that we can grow the economy, and the current apprenticeship levy isn't achieving that. Businesses tell us that it needs reform. That's why we'd introduce the skills and growth levy.
Would Labour like to see a united Ireland?
You know, what I would say is that it is a really important moment that we've seen Stormont back up and running and the new executive in place there, and it's really important that we support that. Labour will always be an honest broker for Northern Ireland, but we're proud of the Belfast Good Friday agreement and will always stand by that.
Or would you like to see a united Ireland?
That's for the people of Ireland to decide.
You wouldn't stand in their way?
That's for the people of Ireland to decide. I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals. The Good Friday Agreement sets out very clear circumstances in which you could have a border poll. I don't think that is on the horizon at the moment, but what I want to see at the moment is to make sure that that executive is a success. It's a really important moment. There are a number of issues facing people of Northern Ireland. We saw the public sector strikes just a week or so ago. We know that NHS waiting lists are the highest in Northern Ireland, and these are the urgent issues that need tackling,
Sure.
and that's why it's so
But
important.
Labour wouldn't stand in the way if the people of Northern Ireland.
It's for the people of Northern Ireland, and we respect and are proud of the Good Friday Agreement.
OK, it's always great to see you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So the